Our next speaker, Jeff Esper. No Average Joe. No Average Joe. Jeff Esper.
Hey, Joe, is that you? Mr. Contest Chair, fellow Toastmasters, and no average Joes. When I was 7 years old, my family went on our first trip to the beach. I'll never forget the smell of that ocean for the first time. The hot sun, everybody enjoying themselves. And if you were with me, my older brother, my mother, and my dad Joe, you would have witnessed something remarkable. As we were walking along the boardwalk, out of nowhere, a man jumps in front of my dad and says, "Hey, Joe, is that you?" My dad said, "Yeah, but do I know you?" He said, "Joe, I can't believe it. Joe Namath. Could I get your autograph?" My dad was stunned. He looked at my mother and boys. He looked at the guy. Now you have to keep in mind, my dad was a dead ringer for Joe Namath in those days. And he took that pad that he signed on. And I ran on happy, and we're walking along, and I'm scratching my head like, why would Dad sign that man's autograph? I couldn't understand. And then it hit me. There could only be one explanation. My dad is Joe Namath. I mean, it makes sense, right? He looks like him. And then you have other examples. Clark Kent was Superman. Bruce Wayne was Batman. My dad, Broadway Joe. I mean, this makes sense to a 7-year-old, doesn't it? It was pretty special for my dad, too. Because, for just a moment, he got to experience what it's like to be no average Joe. So what of the rest of us average Joes? How do we get to experience that? How do we get to evolve to no average Joe status? Well, it's not about what you can do, but it's about what you will do that will make the difference. Nobody thought Joe Namath could win Super Bowl III against the mighty Colts. Joe Namath's Jets were significant underdogs. In fact, Thursday before the game, he was interviewed by a broadcaster who said, "Joe, you're going up against the mighty Colts. You basically have no chance of winning. What do you have to say?" And Joe said, "Well, Bob, we're going to win. Not only that, but I guarantee it." Oh, guaranteed? That's like a double dog dare. And it takes a lot of guts on public television to say you're going to win. Guarantee it. And it takes a lot of nuts, too. These kind of nuts. Everybody thought Joe was crazy. They couldn't beat the Colts. But Joe wasn't crazy because he knew what it took to become no average Joe. The first two ingredients of no average Joe are you declare what you're going to do. I wouldn't recommend doing it on public television. But say I'm going to do this. This is what I want to do. Another ingredient is to deliver on it. Sounds pretty simple, doesn't it? Declare and deliver. So why don't we all do that? It seems so simple. It's the third ingredient that's missing. The third ingredient is best told with a history lesson. My father, Joe, was better known as Mr. Esper. Spent 31 years as a history teacher. But he had a very unique teaching style. Well, he had the traditional tests and grades. But he also had a notebook. The notebook gave every student an opportunity to be successful in his class. There were requirements. If you met the requirements, if you kept your notebook all year long, you could pass, even if you failed the test. Now conversely, if you passed the test, but did not do your notebook, you would fail. Seems fair, doesn't it? Two paths, both leading to the same place. This path required work, discipline, preparation, and consistency. That's what it takes to be no average Joe when you don't have the arm strength, when you're not the tallest, or the fastest, or the strongest, or the smartest. You can always prepare. Because it's not what you can do, it's what you will do. That makes the difference. And Joe Namath, he knew it. Because when he guaranteed victory, he knew that the Jets had out-prepared the Colts. Why? Because they were underdogs. They had to win. And they did. Declare, prepare, and deliver. Because it's not whether you can or you can't. It's will you. Now I feel like I'm preaching to the choir here. Because I'm looking at a room full of no average Joes. We're a part of an organization that takes average Joes and turns them into no average Joes. But keep in mind, you can do it. But it's still up to us, it's still up to you to do it. Will you? All right, back to my dad. I mean, all these years of, Dad, why did you sign the autograph? He said, Jeff, I didn't sign the autograph. Well, wait a minute, I was standing on the boardwalk, I saw you sign the autograph. I didn't sign Joe Namath's name. I signed Joe. Just plain old, average Joe. And I said, Dad, you know something I do know? You are no average Joe. Mr. Contest.